the homie Donnie Ramsey moved down here from L.A., and that's how the 40s came about. Donnie was an original Harlem Crip from up in L.A. He came down here over to the hood. As I said before, he moved over to the coast when he first came down to San Diego, and then he came over here to the hood, and they established it with just about 5 or 6 people. So I'm an OG. I'm not one of the co-founders. I wasn't here when that part was established. I came in 1977 when I was 14 years old and started going to Gumpers Junior High School. In 1977, in October, I caught my first case. It was a strong arm robbery. I got arrested at school, and I ended up leaving the hood for about 9 months after I got arrested, and I came back to the hood in about 1979 when I ran into my homeboy Ty Stick in Juvenile Hall. Yeah. And he told me, you know, he's like, Curt, man, we ain't heard from you in a while. We doing big things over in the hood. I was like, nigga, I'm fixing to come through, you know. And we came through, man, and the rest is history, you know.
I came around here probably around 75, 76, you know what I'm saying? Me and my homie Curt Dog, that was our generation. It was really like the second generation of us, you know, and probably the most effective generation. And, you know, as far as establishing neighborhood. And we've been around a long time, since 1972. So, you know, that's always been a debate with LA 40s and shit, who was here first.
Because the LA 40s didn't start that early.
Nah, they was hustlers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That whole neighborhood was just hustlers, you know. So, you know, and I can't really say when they started, when they, you know, who was the founder of their hood and shit, but we know Donnie was the founder of this, Marvin Miller, D Stone. That was like the first 3 niggas that came to this neighborhood and started it.
Did it start off as Rollin 40s Neighborhood Crip, or did it have different names?
No, it was always Neighborhood Rollin 40s.
Okay.
You know, that's where we at, right here in the 400 blocks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we was when San Diego first started really banging, Ocean View Park, Balboa Park, Cleanup Park, we used to meet up every Sunday and get our scrap on. You know what I'm saying? That was before all the gunplay and shit. So every gang that was active out here met at Ocean View Park on Sundays. Everybody knew that, or at Balboa Park or Cleanup Park, and got their scrap on, and we partied and barbecued, and police used to surround the whole park and wait for all the shit to happen. They used to have concerts, live bands, and all that shit at Ocean View Park.
So you was fighting with Central City and West Coast?
No, we just West, mainly just West Coast, and sometimes the Brims, because they was just getting started too. You know what I mean? But that was, our arch rival was West Coast, and then they became our allies, our comrades, you know what I mean? It was me, my homeboy Curt Dog, D-Rock, and my big homie Antoine went over there one day. I ran into one of their shooters, and me and him was about to get at each other, and then, you know, he had just got out of San Quentin, crazy cat. He had just got out of Quentin, and I ran into him at 41 Liquor Store, and we was finna get at each other. That's how crazy it was, and for some reason, he just pushed up on me so fast, I couldn't even reach him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this nigga, you know what I'm saying? He just let me holler at you, man. I want to talk to you and Curt Dog, man. I want to meet with y'all. So 4 of us walked over there one night. We walked over there. I told Trey when I seen him, because he had just got out of YA. Cat had just got out of Quentin. And we walked over there, you know what I'm saying? Every West Coast nigga that know, that night we walked over there to Mullins, and they seen we was for real. Because we came, you know what I'm saying? We took 2 pistols, but we came. Just 4 of us, and it was probably 100 of them. We came, we broke with a piece, and it's been cool ever since. That was probably about 81.
Okay. And
81, 82, you know what I'm saying? And that was big because it could have got real bad. You know what I'm saying? Cause they ain't no busters, them niggas get down. They got a lot of killers in their hood, and we have a lot of killers, you know what I mean? So it could have went real bad like Lincoln and Skyline did at one time, you know, and thank God we was able to put it together on a fluke, you know what I mean, and resolve that issue.
And one of the biggest contributing factors to that was the fact that Skyline Pyru came out, and then Lincoln Park also went Pyru. So once Skyline and Lincoln Park went Pyru, and then we already had the Brims, it was like now it was flipping over. It was getting ready. Now it's like majority Bloods. Now they was coming out of the woodworks. Lincoln Park and Skyline truced immediately when they came out. They immediately truced. So that's what kind of compelled us to go in as allies because of what was going on with them, and because of the to increase activation of all these different blood gangs.
Back when I was growing up, we used to have picnics all together. You know what I'm saying? Crip nicks was like,
football
man,
games,
it used to be some of the most funnest shit
But
memories
thing,
I got. You know what I'm
another
saying?
thing about that right there is that when Cat got out, he was the first one to go to the pen out of our generation that we knew. And we was enemies when we first met at the store, right? But we became close friends. And he was telling us that day at the store, he said, look, man, Crips don't kill Crips. He had just came from the pen. He was one of the first ones to come from the pen with that ideology. We don't kill Crips. Crips don't kill Crips. So that kind of helped resolve the problem, too.
Cat pretty much is the one that got the ball rolling on the unity here.
Yeah, and from that day on, you know what I'm saying, he never stopped coming in the hood. From that day on, when we had that meeting, he was with us every day. He was one of the ones going to L.A. with us. When I was telling you we was going up there in 79, 80, 81, he was with us. He would be the only West Coast nigga with us.
Other than the West Coast and the neighborhood 40s, what are some of the other bigger Crip sets in San Diego?
Linda Vista been around. See, a lot of people don't get Linda Vista their credit. Linda Vista been around
He's
for a
Dago.
long time.
Yeah, Mac Nasty and them over
And
in
the
Linda
mob,
Vista.
and the mob.
He's
You know what
Dago
I'm saying?
mob.
He's Dago mob is very big right now. You
They've
know what I'm
been
saying?
fucking with us though
Yeah.
for years, boy. Shout out to my nigga Baby and them. They've been fucking with us for years. You know what I'm saying?
And you got
Oceanside.
Oceanside, you know what I'm saying? And then you got, matter of fact, Mira Mesa just had their thing last week on the 22nd. They had their hood day. Mira Mesa got a gang of Crips. A lot of people, because they didn't fuck with them, they don't know about them. You know what I'm saying? When you start looking at it now, that was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? These gangs came out in the early 80s. This is 2019. They've been around a long time. You know what I mean?
So is it fair to say there are more Bloods in San Diego than Crips?
Me personally, I know people say that,
Yeah.
but me personally, we just don't never all get together like they used to. You know what I'm saying? But if we all got together, you count Oceanside, Mira Mesa, Linda Vista, East Dago Mob, West Coast neighborhood, it's about the same to me.
When you get all these sets popping up and everybody's a blood, then you got everybody wanting to be a blood. A while back, I referred to it as gang banging on safety because it's the safe thing to be. If it's the most of them, then they feel like it's the safe thing to be. So what ends up happening is you end up getting about 50% of real bangers that are bloods and the other 50% that are groupies and fans. Now, I know some down bloods and stuff that I gang banged with back in the early days from Lincoln, Skyline, and all that. Then was the real bloods and stuff that I was around. Now, you got teenage girls, 13 and 14, running around talking about blood gang, blood gang. You got these little niggas running around with these skinny jeans on and shit, you know, yelling blood gang. Everybody's yelling blood gang. I seen a motherfucker with some, not gray hair, but white hair, talking about he's a blood, you know. So a lot of this shit, man, is based up on popularity. When I was in Pelican Bay, I wrote this book right here. But I got the idea to write a book when I first was sentenced to 15 years for an attempted murder back in 1991, 92. And so I was suffering a little midlife crisis when I was in prison. And I saw my first gray hair, you know, and that bothered me because now I'm getting old now. And now I'm wondering what's going to become of me now. Now all that stuff is starting to click with me because I know I'm not going to be out on the block, you know, at this age, you know, still banging and everything. So it's kind of like, what do I have for retirement, you know? I didn't have this job. This cripping was not a job that gave me retirement benefits. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to come with something else or make meaning and purpose to my life. So I start thinking of ways, and I wrote. And I've written 3 books. This was the first one that was published. It's called Cellmates and Sellouts. Came up with the idea of this book while listening to a brother that I was cellmates with in Pelican Bay. After I came out the SHU program, I was released to the main line, and I was with a brother who was telling me how he got a life sentence. He was a real cool dude, you know, but he got caught up. It was like a fluke, you know. So the point being was what got to me was just how easy it could be to get caught up, and the one day just be out there, and the next day you just one little incident, and you doing life, you know. So I wrote this book, you know, about the ins and outs of the life, you know, and I tell stories, and this book takes you through a journey of different adventures with people in the prison system and how they end up getting caught up, how I end up getting caught up in the system, and how people end up getting caught up snitching, how people turn informant, the politics inside the prisons, and just getting caught up in the life period. So I wanted to make some purpose of everything. At this point, I want to make meaning of the things that happen in my life and bring some closure to the life and give it some positive purpose. And just the reason why people like Bullet is enlightening and motivational and stuff, because he's doing something positive and he's doing something to lift us on another level now, because we running around here banging, but we don't own none of these stores that we go to and buy our 8-ball from. So we trying to do some community shit now and elevate ourselves on a level to where we can start having a piece of our community, a real piece of our community. We got homeboys like Fat Chris right there. He go to San Diego State University. That's what I'm talking about. We give the shout outs to the people who shot the most people and all that shit. But I give the shout outs to the motherfuckers, that's doing things, to my homeboy in school right there who didn't get caught up in shit, who I could be proud of and say, motherfucker, I got a homeboy go to San Diego State. Fuck with that.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Like and comment below to give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related videos to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description and listen to our weekly podcast, The Gangster Chronicles, every Thursday. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.